They told me the Force had a plan, but I never imagined it would start with Mace Windu standing at my door, not Obi-Wan. From the moment he looked at me, there was no warmth, no gentle guidance, just intensity. Eyes like amethyst, sharp and probing, as if he could already see the darkness coiled somewhere deep inside me. "You will learn discipline," he said. And in that moment, I knew my path would be different. Training under Windu wasn't like anything I had imagined. There were no soft-spoken words or quiet meditations under the stars. Every lesson was fire and control. He taught me that emotion is a storm, and the Jedi must be the eye of it. But I was the storm. The raw power inside me didn't want to be caged, and Windu, he didn't try to soothe it. He forced it into shape. He made me study Vapad, his own fighting style. It danced along the edge of the dark side, a dangerous game. He said only those who could master their own shadows had the right to walk that path. I saw it in his eyes. He didn't trust me, not fully, but he was willing to gamble. Maybe he saw something in me no one else did. Not the chosen one, not the hero, but the weapon the Jedi would one day need. We never talked about my mother, not really. He believed attachments were poison. When I had dreams of her suffering, he didn't offer comfort. He offered a warning. "Grief clouds judgment," he said. "Fear leads to failure." I tried to believe him. I tried to sever the ties. But love doesn't dissolve under discipline. It hides. It festers. Yet part of me changed. I was sharper, more calculated. There was no room for impulsiveness in Windu's world. He drilled it out of me with every sparring session, every moment of silence where I craved connection and found only cold resolve. The council looked at me with less suspicion, more respect, because I had his approval, but I was never sure if that made me feel proud or hollow. When the Clone Wars began, I was ready in ways I never thought possible. Windu had turned me into a tactician, not just a warrior, but the war also brought something else, chaos. And in chaos, emotion finds cracks in the strongest walls. Padme, my secret, my shame, I kept her hidden even from him, especially from him. Then came Palpatine. He tried to sway me just like before, whispered promises, secrets, the power to save the one I loved, but Windu had prepared me for manipulation. Every lesson, every stern gaze had taught me to question my own desires. I stood in that chamber, watching him confront the Chancellor, and when it came time to choose, I didn't raise my saber. I let Windu finish it. The galaxy shifted that day. No Empire, no Order 66. The Jedi survived, wounded but breathing. And me, I was no hero. I was a weapon forged by fire and fear, wielded by a master who taught me how not to break. Sometimes late at night, I wonder what would have happened if Obi-Wan had been the one. If maybe I would have learned love before power. But in this life, I was trained by Mace Windu, and that changed everything. The aftermath was quieter than I expected. No fanfare, no celebrations, just the uneasy silence of a republic, saved but scarred. The Chancellor was dead. The war was ending. And I was still standing, though I felt like a stranger in my own skin. Windu didn't congratulate me. He didn't even look relieved. He simply nodded, the way he always did, like a man who saw outcomes, not emotions. "You did what needed to be done," he said. But I could feel it. Beneath his calm, something had shifted between us. For the first time, I think, he trusted me. The council began to rebuild, slowly, cautiously. The clones laid down their weapons, many confused, some broken. Without the Sith's final command, there was no purge, no mass betrayal. And yet, the darkness hadn't vanished. It lingered like a bruise across the galaxy. We had won a battle, not the war. Padme lived, safe, distant. I kept her hidden still, not out of fear, but protection. Windu may have trained me to suppress attachment, but I never unlearned love. I just reshaped it, tucked it away, like a hidden chamber in the Force where she and I still existed, untouched by duty. I wasn't a hero in their eyes. I was a symbol, of power restrained, of darkness confronted without surrender. Some feared me, Some revered me, but none truly knew me, not even Windu. Maybe not even myself. He offered me a seat on the council eventually. I sat in silence, absorbing the weight of the room. I didn't crave power anymore. I craved balance. And in some strange way, Windu had given me that, through hardship, through control, through relentless discipline. But sometimes, I still dream. I dream of lava and betrayal, of Obi-Wan's sorrowful eyes, of a child I never held. Dreams from another life, one that might have happened if I'd walked a different path. In those moments, I realized the truth. The Force doesn't have one plan. It has many. And Mace Windu? He didn't save me. He forged me. Maybe that's what the galaxy needed. But I'll never stop wondering what it could have been if I had been allowed to simply be Anakin and not just the weapon they needed. The years passed, and with them, the fire inside me dulled, not extinguished, but tempered. I became a guardian of peace, like the Jedi Code demanded. But peace, I learned, isn't the absence of war. It's the constant struggle against what war leaves behind. Sometimes I'd walk the halls of the temple alone at night. The same corridors where I once felt like an outsider. Now they echoed with my footsteps and the weight of the choices I had made. The younglings would watch me with wide eyes, their whispers trailing behind like shadows. That's Master Skywalker. He ended the war. They didn't know how close I had come to becoming the very thing I swore to destroy. Windu never softened. He remained the unmoving pillar at the center of the Order. But in time, I came to understand him. Not admire him, understand him. His discipline was not born of pride, but fear. Fear of what someone like me could become. I had danced on the edge, and he had stood at my side, daring the dark to take me. It never did, because he wouldn't let it. And maybe because I wouldn't either. But the Force was changing. I could feel it. The old ways were crumbling under the weight of survival. Jedi philosophy had to evolve. We couldn't be untouchable monks anymore. The galaxy didn't need ghosts. It needed protectors who could feel, who could understand the people they served. I started speaking up, challenging the council, not with rebellion but reason. I told them about Padme, not as a confession, as a truth. The silence that followed was deafening. Windu didn't speak for a long time. When he did, it was just 3 words. You are ready. Ready for what? I still don't know. Forgiveness? Leadership? The future? I took Padme's hand in public for the first time the next day. No lies, no hiding, just truth. The galaxy didn't fall apart. The Jedi didn't crumble. And for the first time in my life, I didn't feel like I was betraying one part of myself to honor another. Maybe that was balance. Maybe I was never meant to destroy the Sith or save the Jedi. Maybe I was meant to teach them both that the Force doesn't divide. It connects. And it all began with a man who refused to coddle me, who saw the fire and chose not to put it out, but to forge it. Mace Windu trained me, and because of that, I did not fall. I rose. So if you've ever wondered how one choice, one mentor, can change the fate of an entire galaxy, let this be your answer. Not every path to the light is gentle. Sometimes it's carved through fire, forged by those who see what you could become, even when you can't. If this journey moved you, made you rethink Anakin's destiny, or sparked a new what if in your own mind, don't let it end here. Like this video, share it with fellow Star Wars fans, and subscribe for more immersive alternate realities and deep dive storytelling. And in the comments below, tell me, who else's story should be rewritten? What truth are you ready to explore? Because in a galaxy shaped by choices, your voice matters too.